That's my life motto. Welcome to Tech Specs. It's a podcast for sure. I'm your host, Gabe Carey, and this is your other host, Matt Klink.
I was muted. What's up?
He was muted, but now he's anti-muted.
I am your other host.
You are the other host. We're both hosts. There are no guests.
The host.
If you would like to be a guest, you can be a guest because we have low standards.
I mean, we're running it, so.
Yeah, so we're gonna talk about that fucking giant ass smartwatch. We're gonna talk about YouTube Red. I got an Apple TV, a new one. It's something. Sure is special. And something I'm writing about that I would like to talk about is the OneDrive features that Microsoft just cut because Microsoft is a collective hive mind of ass.
It's just a bunch of butts. No.
It's just an ass.
I think our last podcast was talking about how hopeful we are, and then you immediately said this, and we're like, "Fuck you."
No, this is just OneDrive. I'm just like, nah.
I was never going to use OneDrive, so I don't care. But I know a lot of people do.
So Microsoft. Let's just start into this one, I guess. Microsoft was one of the few major corporations that was offering unlimited cloud storage,
right.
And not even Google was offering this. Google was at 1 terabyte was the max, and Microsoft was offering it cheaper than Google's 1 terabyte. It was like $7.99 a month, I think.
Really?
Or $7 or something for unlimited bandwidth or unlimited storage. And apparently, like, very few people uploaded like 75 terabytes worth of storage each. So Microsoft was just like, nah.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought must have happened, because there's no reason to kind of take it away other than, hey, I noticed that 0.1% of people is using all of it.
Yeah.
You could probably, I mean, I guess not abuse. They probably have the space, but
they do have the space. So Ars Technica calculated it out, and it would take about $1,800 to store that 75 terabytes.
Jeez.
That's $1,800 worth of raw disk space, which really isn't that much though for Microsoft, because the average user on that unlimited plan was only using about 5.5 gigabytes.
Nice.
So very few were actually abusing this.
Yeah.
And it just, God, Slack. I forgot to exit out of it, and I'm hearing noises. Very few people were actually abusing this, so I don't feel like it's justified. When there are companies out there, I forgot which ones I named, but there are a few companies that are much smaller than Microsoft and offer unlimited cloud storage for about $5 a month.
Mm-hmm.
And they seem to run into no issues, and they've been at it for much longer than Microsoft has, since Microsoft has only been offering that tier of OneDrive storage for about a little more than a year. And it took them. So what bugs me most is that they switched from the 1 terabyte maximum storage to less than a year later. They were like, all right, we're going to make it unlimited. And then a little more than a year later after that, they were like, never mind, we fucked up. So they went back on their word like twice. It's just confusing. They didn't need to do that. They never needed to make it unlimited to begin with, and yet they did. And that's what bugs me the most. But
yeah,
this
doesn't greatly affect me, so I just don't. I know I'm not a person that, I don't know, I use a computer, but I guess I don't download a lot of stuff. I download my games, but obviously that's going to be on my computer. And I think I have a 2 terabyte, like just regular hard drive, and then I have my SSD with the OS on it. I have filled half of the 2 terabyte drive since I got it my sophomore year of college. So like 4 years now, out of like
Mhm.
4 years, and I filled like 1 terabyte.
You don't download enough 4K porn.
Yeah, apparently not.
Mhm.
Or any, some say.
Any? Wow.
Some
How do
say.
you not download porn? What do you stream it, pleb?
Jeez. Speaking of porn, this is gonna
Speaking of,
this is gonna be a hard time.
you're about to whip your dick out.
Um,
I'm liking where this is going.
let's pivot into, can you watch porn on the Apple TV?
I don't know because I
That was
haven't
really
tried it
just
yet.
a pivot. I'm not actually interested in that. Let's just talk about the Apple TV.
Okay. I haven't tried it yet. Actually, I did try it, to be honest. So today, my girlfriend Rachel was over, and we were experimenting with the Siri functionality on the Apple
Right.
TV remote, and trying to find out what different things you can ask it to watch. And so I asked, obviously, what porn I could watch.
Good.
And it refused. It says it won't look up erotic things. I
Wow.
don't
So
remember
we
what it said.
actually were able to pivot into more porn. I didn't think that was going to really happen.
You
but that's
didn't
pretty
think that
good.
was possible,
I did.
but I am full of surprises when it comes to porn.
Great. Sweet.
I was actually looking for something I was writing, and I don't know where it is. So have you heard much on the Apple TV 4 so far?
Were you asking just what I've heard about?
Yeah. Have
Okay.
you heard much on it?
Yeah, I was reading up on it and following it and stuff, and so before, maybe a while ago, like when they first announced it, before it came out, a few months
Mhm.
ago, I was like, this is gonna be like because they're gonna let apps on it, so there people are gonna play it, and I was mad that they didn't release a real gaming remote,
Yeah.
germane to the console.
They have the Steel Series Nimbus.
Right.
You want that?
But that's not a I mean, I guess it's not mandatory, but I guess certain games would require that. But it's not like a.
No,
it's
actually, from what I've heard, it is required that developers use the remote that comes with the.
Right, the little dingus thing. The
It is not great for playing any games.
That is my I heard
not
one-touch
even
games. I heard
Rossi Road. No,
really not even.
It's not even great for that. I
Well,
would
I
rather
bet.
play it on an iPad or an iPhone.
But so basically, what I thought it would be like useful for was like casual games for like for like just people and their friends and stuff.
Yeah,
And everybody who I talk to plays too many video games. And
I don't play
basically
enough.
everyone basically everyone was like, they either buy a console or they're just gonna watch TV. And I'm like, no, that is not true. People like playing games on their TV casually. You just don't know them because you and everybody else here makes video games, friends at work.
Yeah, that's the thing, is you're discounting the large mainstream population of
that
people
just wants a set-top box and
who
is like
wants to replace the experience that the Wii gave them so
Right.
many years ago.
yeah.
And
And they might not
that's
even be thinking
what this
that.
device
It's
could be.
just-
They're not thinking it,
And
but
they didn't think that about the Wii. It just happened, right? It just kind of came, and people were like, "Oh, this is fun to play with your friends," and they did it. And so everyone's just going to buy an Apple TV anyway because people want something to watch other video content on, right?
Yeah.
So lots of people are going to get it for that purpose. And now that it's just going to, there was this game called like Beat Sports where it's like to a beat, like there's all these sports.
That
games
is
to
the
it.
harmonics game, yeah.
Right. And people are like, this is pretty much Wii Sports, and that's good enough. And that was kind of what I was thinking, but I wasn't able to explain to people until people started writing articles about it because they didn't. Why would they listen to Matt? That listen, if good casual TV games are there, lots of people have iPhones or smartphones, and then if you can just use that to control it, which you do in this game, and you will be able to do in other games.
Yeah.
Then people will do that. It will, it's going to do, I think they're going to do not mobile gaming on the TV, but they're going to bring like the kinds of games that casual gamers on their phones play them because it's something to do and it's fun on your phone. If they have something to do that's casual and fun when their friends are over at their place, my sister, I think, is a good example of one of these people that when she went to, like, she always played games with me on, like, the Sega, but then when, like, the PS2 came out and stuff got more real, like, I was playing more intense games and she was not really into that. Really, she liked, like, Crash Bandicoot Racing, which is pretty much Mario Racing with Crash. But, you know, gaming in the mainstream kind of left people like her and other casual people behind until the Wii came out, which is why we saw the Wii do so well, is there wasn't a space on the console for people to just play you know what I mean, more casual stuff.
Yeah, and I was reading an article recently that said people don't want this experience anymore. Look at the Wii U, it failed. And I was like, the Wii U never delivered that same experience.
The Wii U didn't do that.
No, like, and it's confusing for everyone.
Right. So I mean, I sound like I'm just piggybacking on some articles that were like this, but I thought of it first. But I was kind of saying this for, a little bit, that I'm like, I think there's a space for this. Like, my parents liked playing the Wii. They don't play other things because they're like, what the fuck is this crazy controller shit? With like 20 buttons on it, right? And these 2 joysticks, they can't do it.
And I think games like the Jackbox Party Pack,
will be
right at home on there. Yeah. And any game where you can use a phone as like the second controller,
right?
Because I know that the Apple TV itself only supports up to 2 controllers at once, but I don't think that's important. I think it's more important that it supports.
I sure hope
a bunch of phones at once.
I sure hope it supports a bunch of farts at once.
Me too.
Did you hear that?
No, I didn't hear that.
Well, I'm super glad my microphone didn't pick that up.
I'm glad we don't have an audience yet for that. But yeah, I think that's going to be the demographic, is like the families and people who play games on their phones and also want to watch TV and don't have a device yet to watch Hulu or Netflix.
My parents do not currently use their Blu-ray player, which is a horrible interface, and it's butts to use.
My parents use the Chromecast, so they would benefit from an Apple TV too. They use the first gen Chromecast, which doesn't work so well anymore.
Yeah. I actually got the first gen because it literally came out. I got it literally 2 weeks before the second one came out. But it's like, all I needed to do is like I send Twitch over to it, so it's like it's whatever. I watch.
My parents are very confused by it because you have to connect your phone to it.
Sure.
And if it's not on the same Wi-Fi network, what?
They could do it from their laptop or whatever as well.
Yeah, my parents don't have laptops. They have phones. Yeah, my mom has a Chromebook for work, but I don't think she uses it for home.
Yeah, she wouldn't.
Yeah. So, yeah. Wow, but so they struggle with the Chromecast because it has to be on the same Wi-Fi network as the one on your phone, and they just get confused by that, and they ask me to fix it all the time. So I'm just like, the Apple TV would work for you guys because, like, you don't need to connect an external device to it to use it. And that's perfect for people like that. Yeah. I don't really need one because I also have an Xbox One and a PS4 hooked up to the same TV and a laptop.
Exactly, and I'm the same. I think eventually maybe I'd get one if I want to play like party games like that, if I have people over or whatever. But really, most of my needs are met through my computer or my PS4.
And I know Crossy Road actually has a multiplayer functionality too.
Oh yeah, it does.
And people can use their phones and tablets to interact with the first player. So it's kind of cool. Yeah. But it's probably nothing I'll ever use. After playing a game once on it, I was like, nope, this isn't the best.
Yeah.
I played Rayman Adventures and I was kind of excited for that.
Right.
And then I wasn't anymore when I played it and found out it was a modified Endless Runner.
Right. And I think what's funny about people, just one more point about the Apple TV.
Yeah.
It's people discounted it a lot as a gaming console because they're like, did you see the Ouya? And it was like, well, yeah, I saw the Ouya. It was a Kickstarter project that landed in like 4 GameStops and like didn't do it wasn't a set-top box. It was Android gaming on your TV, right? That got Towerfall on it, which was basically the reason anyone bought one. It was the Towerfall machine, and before it came to PC and console. So it's just not a good comparison. And
it's not. If you're going to compare it to anything, compare it to the Fire TV and the Roku,
right, which have huge install bases, and so did the old Apple TV. So like,
yeah, this is just a better version of what existed before.
Exactly, and people are like, companies are starting to develop for it. My company got one in and set it up on a giant TV, and companies are doing it. Yeah.
I played it yesterday.
They were testing out Asphalt on it. They were testing out Dungeon Hunters on it. And it just by default, it works with the stupid little thing. But I think those games also have controller support, so I wouldn't be surprised if you hooked up one of the approved controllers if it worked. I wouldn't be surprised by that. I don't think they've done any updating to those yet, but I don't think I'm breaking any NDA. Shocker. We are testing this thing that you can play mobile games on at a mobile game company.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to surprise anyone. But yeah, I think it's going to be cool for those kind of experiences, and I think it's also going to be cool for like the smaller Steam games that can kind of work, like Transistor, that can run on the system. Sweet vape, bro. So I think those will all work. And also for apps like I have installed, which is really exciting to me for some reason, is the Fireplace app.
That's kind of nice.
It's kind of fun. I keep it on like when I'm not here, and when I am here and I'm not using the TV, I just keep that on because it's kind of cool.
Sweet.
Little things like that are, that's what's going to keep the Apple TV going.
You remember when smartphones first happened and there were all those dumb apps that you pay like $1 for free, and it was just you tipped it and then the beer bottle would go and then it would be is somebody going to test out one of those on it with the is my question, because that's the killer app.
It seems like it wouldn't be that hard to port things like that over. It seems like it's not that hard to port anything over to this, actually, because all of these apps are coming to the Apple TV. There's a ton of apps on it. Surprisingly, I thought there would be like 10, and that would be it to begin with. And no, surprisingly, I haven't even looked through them all yet. There's a lot of apps, not that many useful ones, but maybe in the future. The QVC app is the one people are talking about, because it's a shopping channel and you can actually buy shit like while you're watching it.
Yeah.
Stuff like that is kind of neat, but I don't know. It just seems like something that would only be useful when I'm drunk and want to make terrible decisions.
Yeah.
So
the other stuff that people were disappointed, well, specifically like one or two reviewers were like, it's still just a streaming box, and it's going to be, I think we're excited because the game stuff couldn't be a real possibility that people were doubting. But I think some people were still upset that it doesn't solve the problem of watching TV through a not shitty interface, because everybody's cable box has a horrible interface that they have to do the channels through and stuff like that. And if you're like, I want to watch the Jets game, it's not going to do it because it can't, right? So they didn't fix that problem with getting, by kind of doing the thing that they did with the phone, where they said, this is our thing. You're going to let us use your service on our thing because it's good, right? With the iPhone when it went to AT&T. They didn't do that with this.
They're not doing the thing where you can just watch whatever you want to watch at any given time.
Right, that is on your, anything that's plugged into your TV. It can't just do that. But, I don't know. These companies have a lot more money, I think, than those carriers did back in the day. These cable companies have a lot more money than them. And they don't necessarily have to bend to Apple's will as much as, but I mean, they still have piles of money. Still have piles and piles of money. So I don't know. That would have been something nice, but by the same time, I don't pay for cable. Cable is dying, and I know that's like a thing that a lot of it's a shame, because it's a thing that a lot of casual, regular people, not tech enthusiasts, are going to get into. A lot of casual people still haven't cut the cord on their cable, right? But for me, and I think our generations, stuff is going to keep getting unbundled from television, and in sports we'll get there. It's just they are in longer term contracts and cannot be unbundled yet.
Yeah, I don't even have a TV, and I don't really care. Like, I use a monitor, and it's the same thing to me because I don't need the. I don't
but
need
I also
the
have
little.
An apartment, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I have a 32-inch monitor, and I can just.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's a pretty sizable. It's a pretty sizable monitor.
It's basically that's. I don't know if I feel like 30. I don't know.
And it
if
has
that's actually the
speakers built
same.
in.
That's ridiculous because I have a 32-inch TV. So if your monitor is that big, that's insane.
Yeah, it's HP Envy, and it's a 2.5K display.
Jesus,
which is kind of cool. Yeah, I bought it over the summer because I decided I needed that, but I really don't. Yeah, so probably have to start wrapping it up soon because I have to go to the gym. But
wow, nerd.
Yeah, I have a friend who is going to the gym, and he is making me go. Which means I have to. I mean, the smartwatches. So I didn't read much up on this. You did though.
Yeah.
So what was that? I didn't even get the chance to read about it.
Let me get the name of it because it was so ridiculous.
In the meantime, Coca-Cola roller coaster.
Coca-Cola roller coaster. God, that was
Jesus.
horrible.
I knew about that song like 2 months ago, and I just bringing it back now. The slide fucking killed me. That for those of you who have no idea what we're talking about, it's an article on The Verge. It's barely an article on The Verge about Nickelback's I guess new music video. I don't know what the fuck it's called. It's kind of disco, and it has some severe product placement in it. So I'm gonna offer that trigger warning now.
There it is. What is this thing called? The Rufus Cuff. That's it. The Rufus Cuff. So the Rufus Cuff is basically a gigantic. It is a phone-sized smartwatch. It is. I think it is a 3.5-inch display.
Yeah.
The Verge called it the phablet of smartwatches, which I think is pretty apt. It can basically be your phone. It runs like full Android.
Oh, that's cool. That's kind of what I want from a smartwatch, but none of them offer right now.
Well, you can buy the Rufus Cup, which is the size.
I don't want that though. I don't want anything. I don't want anything that big. I want a normal watch.
From your wrist to like halfway to your elbow. It's about.
Why can't there be a normal watch that runs full Android? Why can't it be the normal size? I don't understand.
Here's the thing. And I saw this, I was like, what's funny? If you showed this to somebody in the late 90s and you showed them all the stuff it did, they'd be like, this is the future. We're all just going to have we're all just going to have computers on our wrists. And it's kind of what smartwatches are doing. But really, smartwatches are accessory. They just buzz you when you have notifications, which is kind of all I would want from a smartwatch. But I understand a lot of people want like more, they wanted to do the stuff they want.
I want Siri, and I want to tell Siri what text message I want to send, and it'll send it. And I won't have to need my phone nearby at all, and I can listen to music directly off of the smartwatch with onboard storage. But that's not happening right now. So until that happens, I'm not getting one.
Here's my skepticism with the smartwatches getting there and really being your phone is that people like to read stuff on their phones, like they like to go on Twitter and all this other stuff.
No, I don't. Yeah.
All right, I guess
you don't really want to do that. No, I do, but I don't really want to on a watch.
Right. So that's the only thing. You lose a lot of the functionality, I think, just because of the screen size, right? Like you don't want a watch the size of your wrist. But I understand that they just need to get the fully functionality there,
Yeah.
Really, they just need to get like a lot of them have dictating and stuff like that. I think a lot of the Google, a lot of the Android Wear devices, you can dictate text messages and stuff, and even
yeah, but you need your phone nearby. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's true. You want to do it without it.
Yeah,
the
like I
LG
can
Watch
send text messages off of my iPad and my phone doesn't need to be nearby, or off
Yeah,
my laptop.
that's
Um,
true. I think it's because it would need a connection, right? It would need like the LTE connection if you wanted to like text
it would
somebody.
just need a Wi-Fi connection, actually,
Well, yeah, I could do it through that,
for
but
iMessage or
yeah, through iMessage.
yeah. So that's really all I would want, and
There is
that's not
I think
happening.
the LG Watch Urbane came out with an LTE version that you could do all this stuff on because it was could basically do all the phone stuff separately. You know what I mean? It could just do sending and emails and whatnot. But
Honestly, all I would really want is GPS and for like Google Maps.
yeah,
And
I know they
like
do that, but does
I
it
run
work through the
sometimes,
phone? I guess
so
it might work through the phone.
yeah, you'd say you need your phone nearby, but like I go for runs and I want to use Google Maps to track like how far I've ran, and I want to listen to music at the same time from a watch, and I don't want to carry my phone also because that's the whole point of carrying just the watch is
Right.
I don't want my phone to break. Um, and it's I don't know, like I guess my situation is really specific, but I don't think it is because the entry level Apple Watch is developed solely for sport,
Right.
uh, which
Yeah.
I think
I
it could
guess
do a little better, a lot better. I
I
think
guess you yeah,
they
I
need to
mean I
carry
would
over a lot more
want to
functionality, and even the reading. Like you talked about the reading, like people don't want to do that, but Apple developed that new font, San Francisco, just for the smartwatch for reading on it. So I would imagine it's kind of important that it can do that. That you
yeah,
can read clearly on the watch.
right.
Yeah, and that actually Apple's is probably the ugliest of all of the smartwatches I've seen.
It's true. It's pretty I
the
actually
the LG one is really pretty. I don't one of the LG ones. I don't know what
yeah.
it's called.
I'm actually probably going to get the just on the topic of smartwatches, I'm probably going to get the Pebble Round just because all I want I am the
Okay, yeah, the
opposite.
Urbane is the one I was thinking of.
Right.
I like that one. That one's very pretty.
So the only thing that I really want from the smartwatches, I just want it to give me notifications, tell me like the stuff I have coming up, like kind of like the Google Now stuff does, but I don't need it to do a lot of the other stuff. I just kind of want to give me notifications, let me like reply to like messages or whatever, and like tell me what I missed and whatnot. And that's what the Pebble does. And I actually think that is I like that, but I guess that you want you want more, you want way more
I want
functionality than
all
I
of it.
do.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
want for
I,
for $350+. I want more
yeah.
because I
And
can
it
I
doesn't
bought
do
my
the
phone for $200.
right.
I
And
want more than that. I want more than
right.
what you can give.
But so it doesn't those watches don't even do a lot of them, they don't do ambient time. And if you do, it like kills the battery really fast. So basically the Apple Watch, a lot of people after it came out are like, it does the worst, like the thing you use the most is the clock, but it also
Yeah,
it is not as good at that as many other watches are.
really odd. Yeah,
Yeah, and the
that battery
Pebble,
life is another concern. Is that I'm hearing a lot of the smartwatches can't
yeah.
like need to be charged once per day or whatever.
Yeah, that's kind of another reason I like the Pebble one. Is it's more just like a watch that it's just a smart watch. It's not so much a mini smartphone, which is I know where a lot of stuff is heading. But I
Hmm.
like the idea of it just, you know what I mean. I think a lot of watches will get there because it's getting cheaper. Like even the nicest whatever it is, the nicest Pebble Round, the new one that's color and has all the new cool features is $250. So eventually you're going to see like $100 watch that's technically a smartwatch and probably just is going to do what the Pebble OS does, that just gives you time and the events and your text message alerts and
That would
stuff.
be fine for $100. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so yeah, I kind of like that.
200 would
I
be
like
like
that more
that.
casual end of the watch market.
Yeah, that would that's fine. And I like the cool custom watch faces you can add to stuff,
Yeah.
but I don't want to pay $350+ for that functionality. It's very
Yeah.
basic.
And basically the best one, uh, basically the best one for the iPhone is the Apple Watch, but that one doesn't kind of do a lot of the other, like, you know
Yeah,
what I mean, a lot of the other stuff that we've been.
I think the next one probably will. I
Yeah,
think it's
this
very
first
much a
one was
first
very much a
generation
proof of
device.
concept. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we might see an app store built into the device next time.
Yeah, maybe.
But stuff like that is what it's lacking, and it has 2 gigabytes of storage, and it's super complicated to put music on. If I like, you can do it, but it's super complicated to do that, and like an iPod Shuffle could do that,
Yeah.
and this $500 device on my wrist cannot.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm looking forward to the future of smartwatches. I think they could be very cool.
Yeah.
But I'm not ready to adopt one. I'm not ready to be an early adopter.
Understandable.
Cool.
So is there anything else you want to touch on or before you go, or?
I mean, there's a lot of things I want to touch on, but especially on you.
Oh,
No, I was going to talk about YouTube Red. Yeah, might as well talk a little bit about it. Do you know anything about this?
yes.
So, okay.
Yeah, I'm familiar with it. It's a paid service. There's no ads. You can download videos.
Nate and I got in an argument about it, I think, the other day.
Does he think it's dumb or something?
Yeah, what do you think about it?
I think it's I mean, it's a paid service, right?
Yeah.
I
think it's expensive. It's like $10 a month.
It's $10 a month.
That's a lot more than I would be willing to
So
pay.
most people, the thing is, I guess you can watch ad free on your phone and stuff like that. So your ad blocker isn't going to cover you there if you're one of the people that doesn't watch ads on the because I think an argument against it is if you don't want to watch ads, just have an ad blocker.
So that's not what I see in it, though. It's not just the ads.
Yeah, it's also I think the downloading stuff is kind of
downloading is cool. You can listen to just music, like you can turn off the screen and listen to just a video.
Really?
Yeah, and download it if you wanted to as a song.
Oh wow,
which is kind of cool. And YouTube has a lot of shit that the main streaming music services don't have.
Yeah.
Because of licensing issues.
Right.
For some reason, YouTube doesn't have to deal with any of those.
Yeah.
I have no idea why still.
I guess because music videos, like they're like, well, here's my music video. You can't just, because the way YouTube works is it wasn't really a thing it wasn't a way to listen to music on the go or whatever, really, because
now it can be, and that's going to cause problems.
So yeah, that's really interesting. I wonder. I mean, now I guess if you want to pay $10 a month, you can make your own play. It's not going to work the same as other music apps that people. I think a lot of people like Spotify, and I think some of the functionality of Spotify I probably like more. But I guess on YouTube you can make playlists and get all the songs and stuff you want. It's just not going to have some of those other.
Yeah, music discovery is going to be an issue.
Yeah, you pretty much need to know what you want.
You need to know what you want to listen to, which I don't. So it's not really for me, but if you know exactly what music you want to listen to, YouTube Red could be an alternative to Spotify.
It's true.
Anyway, one thing I thought was interesting is that YouTube is going to start making its own content. Similar to the way Netflix does, and it's going to be exclusive to YouTube Red.
Oh, okay. So they're going to have like a TV
I think
service.
Would be very cool. Yeah, it's going to be a TV service.
So then it makes even more sense if there's going to be, YouTube kind of exclusive videos, and there's going to be
So get ready for Fred, everyone.
Oh God. He had like a show on Nick or something.
He did. He had like 3 movies or something.
Yeah, I remember when he was just getting started. And my friend Mason was on, we were on YouTube or whatever, and he posted like, "This is the dumbest thing. Like, who even watches these?" And Fred was like, "All my viewers do." Like, literally commented back at him and made fun of my friend. And like, the guy made a ton of money, and that's good.
Yeah.
Literally making it's like ADHD crack for babies, right? Like, it's not anything good. There's even
so that's how I feel about most of what's on YouTube.
Yeah,
exactly that. There's good stuff, but you really have to look through and find it, which is really annoying. Quality discovery on YouTube is
hard.
is really difficult, and
I'll
I think
watch-
YouTube Red is actually going to help with that
Yeah,
because
hopefully.
the exclusive content will hopefully be good.
decent, right? That's interesting, and because the discovery currently on it is not great because you'll watch a video of something you don't like. You ever see something posted and you're like, oh Jesus, like, you know what I mean? Like something
Yeah, all the time.
and then it like recommends it to you, like it's recommending you stuff. You're like, oh no, I'm not a horrible person. I don't want to watch more of this. I watched one terrible video to see how terrible it was, and I'm getting all these recommendations for like Minecraft Baby, you know?
Yeah. Oh God. YouTube is mostly garbage. I don't like it, and I rarely go on there. I only go on there when I know exactly what I'm looking for. But if I don't, or if someone embedded a YouTube video onto their site, like that's the only way I'll see a YouTube video. But I don't go on YouTube just to find interesting things.
Right.
I never think to do that. I never go on YouTube for entertainment, and a lot of other people do. And I just wish it was filtered by quality more. I wish it was easier to find like good entertainment.
Yeah, I mean, you just have to right now. You just have to know where to look. You know, from who you follow, maybe on Twitter or other places. You know.
Yeah.
I like a lot of the stuff that I watch on it, but I know that it's probably not the most popular content or whatever. You know. I don't watch the most popular YouTubers, but the stuff that I watch I really like, and I check on it every day. But it's by no means the most viewed or the easiest to discover. It's just because
it's not super accessible.
It's just because I know those people in other places, and then I'll subscribe to them or whatever.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I think it's been a good chat. I think we're done.
Fireside. You can call this one Fireside Apple TV. Chat.
I want to take a picture. I want to get a picture of me just sitting by my Apple TV fireplace, going like that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get that for the preview image. But anyway, you can follow me on Twitter at @TheGabeCarry. You can follow Matt. I think it's at BagelMage.
It is at BagelMage.
Yes.
Do you have problems with your bagels? Let me fix them because I think sometimes it almost sounds like a service I provide. Like it almost like a plumber. You got a problem with your bagels? Call 1-800-BagelMage. Bagel you up. So there we go.
Bagel you up. So thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time, or we won't.
Bye.